The countdown to kick-off continues. Just a couple of days to prepare for that trip north up to Fife to face Cowdenbeath. What's the latest team news ahead of kick-off, please?
Well, we're okay on the injury front. You know, we've got a couple we had a couple of lads who played in the 20s game the other day who've come through with no problems whatsoever. So from that point of view, good for them to get some more minutes under the belt, to get them up to level playing field with everyone else. And from the rest of the squad, they're in good condition, so they've had a few days off rest to recover, and they've had a really good week working with the players.
You were there watching the under-20s in that emphatic win against Dundee United. Jake Sinclair scored a hat-trick. Is that kind of thrust him forward into your plans, you think, in terms of first-team football? Well,
to be honest, all the players are always in my plans. I've never really written anyone off. There's everybody in the squad, which I train with day in day out, is always in me thoughts. So that's from my point of view is really good, because it means I've got a really healthy squad, that everyone's fighting for places, and there's no one within that squad that I could turn around and say, well, he's not going to be in contention no matter what. So it's great.
What's the latest situation concerning Dominique Malonga? There were rumours that he would be called up for Congo for the African Cup of Nations qualifiers. Is that going to happen now?
Well, that will be Dominic's decision. And Dominic has, we've had correspondence through for a call up from Dominic, and Dominic has to decide, whether he's going to take that up. If he doesn't, no problem. If he does, we'll back him 100%. It should be something that we should celebrate. The fact that we've got Dominic who's been called up, to a full international, for Congo is fantastic for Dominic if he decides to go that path. So we'll wait and see what materialises from it, and we'll take it from there.
Have you set him a deadline for him to make that decision?
No deadlines. I think it's one for Dominic to decide. It's a very proud thing to be called up by your country, and it's one that we will be right behind him, whichever decision he makes. They don't come along very often, so he has to make sure that he makes the right decision and really thinks about it carefully.
You got capped for England B, is that right?
I did.
What do you remember about that?
I should have got capped for England, to be honest, but I never. No, I'm only kidding. It's a very proud thing. It's probably up there with the pinnacle of anyone's career to be capped by your country. I got it for a B cap, and I was unfortunate to be at that time. There was some not bad centre halves playing in front of me, to be honest. Tony Adams, John Terry, and there's a few to name that were in the team. Des Walker, and they weren't bad. They weren't bad.
From the glamour then of international football to the reality of Championship football. Central Park, it's a ground that you've perhaps not particularly familiar with.
No.
It's a place that we've not played in a league match for a very long time. How are we going to approach this the right way? Because we have performed well against the so-called fashionable teams in this division, but it's against perhaps the less fashionable teams where we haven't necessarily achieved the right results.
Well, to be fair, it's a very valid point, and we know what we're going into on Saturday. The players are very aware of the surroundings, but from where we was early on in the season to now, we're in a completely different place. From where the team was then to now, from a confidence point of view, we've made significant gains on that point, and I think our approach to Saturday is completely different to even the ones where we played, the other teams where we played away. We're very respectful of Cowdenbeath and what they bring to the table. It's not going to be easy. Take the surroundings out of it. You know, it's not going to be easy at all. It's a really tight pitch. It's narrow. It suits teams that when they have to get people behind the ball. But we have to be cleverer than that. You know, we have to be able to do the right things, make the right decisions, and when the opportunities come, we have to take them. And that's what really it comes down to in a nutshell. You know, not about the fact that the pitch has got a stock car racing track around it, or it hasn't got nice stands, you know, or terracing. You know, that's irrelevant. It should be irrelevant going into any game. It's about what we do on the pitch. You know, 11 players versus 11 players, and we expect our 11 players to perform better than their 11 players. And that's really what it comes down to.
Is that the objective that you've set the players in? These bread and butter away games, obviously, firstly, Cowdenbeath quickly followed them by Dumbarton away. That's where we need to come away with maximum points in order to really kick on.
Yeah, we do. You know, it's very important that when you go to these grounds, that you have to be psychologically prepared, you know, to face whatever's thrown at you, because sometimes, you know, when it's on to play, yeah, we feel as if we can play with the best, you know, but we have to roll our sleeves up, and I've stated that in the past few months, that we have to be better at rolling our sleeves up, and I really do think that we're in a different place now compared to then. The players really understand, you know, what we want to do. They believe in what we want to do. I think they've come a long way, you know, from where we were to start to now. You know, I think performances, you know, are evident and show that you don't perform the way we performed, you know, if you're still being affected by what's gone on in the past.